What's up everyone? Today we're going to be talking about cancel culture, as it's commonly known, a form of online bullying designed to destroy someone's career or reputation, or both. It's happened to a couple of members of the Brojo community, so I'd like to address it head on and offer what I think might be a solution. What is cancel culture? Originally, it was about people withdrawing their support from a high-profile person because they were offended or disgusted by what they did. This happened a lot during the Me Too movement. You know, the fan base for people like Kevin Spacey and Bill Cosby dropped significantly because they did genuinely horrendous acts. However, like many social justice movements, eventually this swung too far into the red. And now we have people joining up in these anonymous online gangs to tear apart people's lives based on tiny indiscretions and often false information. We've seen it with a number of our favorite actors and comedians. Things they said on Twitter 10 years ago are being brought up to try and destroy their credibility, make them out to be racist or something like that. And we're actually seeing them lose in their career because of these things, none of which are outside the norm. They're not doing anything more extreme than the very people accusing them, and yet they're having their lives destroyed. And this isn't just happening to the big guys. I had a client who I'll keep anonymous, and basically he went online asking for some help. This was misinterpreted as him being entitled or arrogant, and it just spread like wildfire throughout the media. My anonymous little nice guy client was suddenly a superstar in a very negative way, and his whole family essentially had to go into reclusion just to avoid this online hatred storm that just came out of nowhere. So what was originally probably a healthy movement away from high-profile people who are actually pretty nasty behind the scenes has become a form of online hatred venting, where people can anonymously join mobs and destroy others without doing any research, without any justice. It's just trial by media and people allowing that outrage porn to get them all worked up. On that note, if you're one of them, get your fucking house in order. Stop doing it. Don't jump on people online when you know nothing about the case and you're just being provoked and stirred by pictures and media. Stop being stupid. So whether it's at a big scale like a celebrity or a small scale like a number of people I know, it's essentially become online bullying. Somebody is targeted, there's blood in the water, everybody does this internet pile-on, and you get this person who's basically an innocent. They've done nothing truly horrible in their life, some minor mistakes that, really aren't that big a deal, and now their boss is getting bombarded by thousands of emails from strangers telling them they should quit. Things are being sent around, personal information being sent around online. Just these people having their kind of life exploded out into the public view so that strangers all over the planet can judge, ridicule, and actually try to hurt them. It's amazing how evil people can be when they're hidden behind a computer screen. However, if this is happening to you, I don't actually think that you're a victim. Now, you're certainly being targeted, and they're certainly trying to hurt you. But as I talk about in a lot of my content about managing manipulation, there's only one way that somebody can hurt you with manipulation, and that is if you're ashamed of something secret about yourself. See, if you have no shame, if you're totally okay with you as you are and you have no regrets about your past, then no one can really do this to you. In order for you to be a victim of cancel culture, you must first and foremost be so ashamed that you want to keep something a secret. If you're not like that, you're basically invincible. As I always say, you can't blackmail someone who doesn't have any secrets. So the key feature to cancel culture is not actually the mob of losers on the internet who have nothing better to do with their lives. It's your shame that makes you a victim. It's your shame that makes you a target in the first place. You'll notice that cancel culture will never happen to the truly shameless people. Dave Chappelle's a great example of someone, well, he kind of bounced back, but there's really nothing you could do to Dave Chappelle because he doesn't give a fuck what you know about him. And that's the kind of person you need to be immune to cancel culture. How do you become this kind of person? It's not just an overnight transformation. I'm not even entirely sure I'm there yet, though I do feel pretty confident that I'm close. Essentially, it's about being honest first. Make sure if there's any dark, nasty shit about you in your past or in your mind or in your current behavior, that if anyone hears about it, they first hear about it from you. And if they do happen to hear about it from someone else first, a quick bit of research will show them that you've already revealed this to the world. So this is no secret and you're not ashamed of it. So if you're talking about someone trying to get you fired from your job, make sure that in your first week of a new job, your boss knows everything that might be used against you. So if somebody comes to him or her with that information, it's old news. It's not going to be a surprising shock. Secondly, and this one will sound a bit controversial perhaps, never apologize for who you are. Now that's not to say that you should be proud of everything you've ever done. But what I've noticed in these cancel culture waves where people get their careers destroyed is there's this key moment where the person apologizes for the thing they're being called out on. And it's at that point in time that the mob turns on them. When the person goes, I'm ashamed of myself, everyone goes, yeah, you should be, rah. But there have been a few people who have been at that moment and they've said, you know what, that's just who I am. You gotta take it or leave it, love me or hate me, I don't give a fuck, that's who I am. I'm not proud of it, but I'm not ashamed of it either. There's nothing a cancel culture mob can really do to someone like that. But if you say, oh, sorry, I shouldn't have done that, people are just gonna, it's blood in the water to those loser sharks on the internet. They just pile on when they get that sensation. Repairing damage for what you've done is different to apologizing. And that can also go a long way to preventing cancel culture from happening to you. If you have done something awful, repair the damage. Make restitutions and reparations. Do your best to fix what damage you've done so that by the time people find out about it, it's actually case closed. This has been repaired. This is not an ongoing piece of harm. Great example of this is Louis C.K., one of my favorite comedians of all time. He was one of the first people during the Me Too movement to get accused and cancel cultured around something that was kind of on the fence. We're not really sure if what he did was good or bad. In a sense, the act itself was kind of disgusting, but he got consent to do it most of the time. So this wasn't quite in the same category as, Weinstein and Cosby and all those other freaks. Now, when it first happened, Louis C.K. actually did the apology thing. I believe he said something like, it's now my time to listen, I've done something wrong. And of course, they piled in on him. But he's just bounced back, and the way he's bounced back is exactly what I'm talking about. His latest special, I forget the name of it, I'll include a link below, you can buy it from his website, absolutely recommend it, it's fucking hilarious. But he actually does a whole bit where he just talks directly about who he is and what happened. He says something in the special like, should we talk about it? And he just goes into it in absolute detail. He holds nothing back, all the gross details, and he just owns it. He just goes, oh, that's who I am, that's my thing. Trust me, you don't want your thing being found out, we've all got a thing. And he calls out, hey, we're all disgusting human beings, we've all got a thing, don't judge me. And that's the kind of thing that keeps you safe, because what can you do to somebody who's like, yeah, I'm like this, what are you going to do? As opposed to someone like, I'm sorry, I'm like this. Thirdly, tell everyone it's happening if it's happening to you. What a lot of people do is as the cancel culture kind of internet pile-on starts to build, they're trying to put that fire out and make sure as few people find out about it as possible. I recommend going in the exact opposite direction. Be the one who brings the story out. Say, I'm a victim of online bullying, it's happening. Talk about it, but again, talk about it shamelessly. Call them losers, because that's what they are. That's what they are. People protesting on the internet are the biggest losers on the planet. And you can call them that because that's an accurate description of what they are. So don't apologize for being this person who's just a normal human being. Just say, look, the losers are out again, and this time they've chosen me. Tell your family, tell your boss, announce it on social media. If anything, think about it like a fire that needs to be burnt out as quickly as possible. So if you're the one who makes a big scene about it, it doesn't slowly build. It explodes and then it dies away, because tomorrow's always a new story and you can get through this quite quickly. My client who went through something like this, after about 2 months, the story had just died away completely and they could get on with their lives because the mob of losers had moved on to the next victim. And lastly, and I think most importantly, and specifically to your career, if you really want to be safe from cancel culture, you've got to become an entrepreneur, or at least a consultant or a freelancer or something of that nature. You have to be the one who's in control of your career. You have to be your own boss. That's the only way you can be guaranteed to not get fired. If you build a great relationship with your client base and you're very valuable and open with them and they love and trust you, they're going to defend you if someone attacks, right? And because you won't have a boss, no one will fire you, your business will remain intact. That's one of the things I feel secure about. I know the tight-knit Brojo community is very supportive of me. So if somebody tried to attack me from the outside, they would defend me. That's actually happened already in smaller doses with my content. They got a bad reaction. So I'm not concerned about my business or my future as a coach. I've been as open and honest with everybody as I possibly can be. If there's anything I've forgotten, I'll just be like, oh yeah, I did that too. I'm just going to own it, and my audience will appreciate that, I'm sure. And nobody can really hurt me. I might be asking for it by saying that, but fuck it, bring it on, you losers. Hope that helps. There's no quick, easy way to either prevent this or get out of it once you're in. It requires a lot of courage and vulnerability and just brutal honesty. Ownership of who you are, but also an absolute absence of shame and apology for who you are. And that way you become invincible. It's the exact same strategy that works one-to-one with bullies. Okay, they can only hurt you if you're ashamed of yourself. They can only leverage things about you if you want to keep them secret. If you're open like, this is who the fuck I am, bring it on, there's nothing anyone can do to you. You're invincible. Hope you enjoyed that video. Please join the Brojo community and protect yourselves a little bit there. www.brojo.org. It's completely free to join. Great community. And if you like this video, please subscribe and share it around. And I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.